Please rise. Councilman Vienna will lead the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please place your hand over your heart and ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Tonight we have a very distinct opportunity and pleasure to be able to recognize one of our own. At this point in time, I'd like to recognize Haiti Diaz of Sweet Savory Restaurant for Supervisor Barger's Hispanic Heritage Month. The San Dimas City Council congratulates Haiti B. Diaz, owner of the Sweet Savory Cafe and Bakery, and for being recognized by Los Angeles County Board of Supervisor Catherine Barger during Hispanic Heritage Month. Her business exemplifies excellence, perseverance, and community pride, and is an asset to our community. Congratulations, Haiti. I need to try to make this official. In witness thereof, I, Mayor Emmett G. Badar, have hereon set my hand and caused the seal of the City of San Dimas to be affixed this 12th day of November 2025. Haiti, could you step up to the podium?
Yes! Oh, but I wanna look at my customers.
And if anyone wants to take pictures, as soon as she gives her 20-minute speech, you guys feel free to get some pictures quick.
Do we have timer? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I guess this is not needed, but I feel so honored, honestly. Like, I'm humbled by your presence. I know that I just come in you and you guys were so happy, and that means a lot to me and my family. Like you guys mentioned, this is an award that truly I believe it goes for the city, so I'm proud to be here in San Dimas. San Dimas is a great town. I said that over 5 years ago, and I'm passionate about it, about everything that I do every day. I know you guys know that. I didn't prepare a speech or nothing, so I'm just speaking from my heart. But just seeing you here, and then you guys adding value into the cafe, that's what matters, honestly. It's like what matters in life is the mark that you leave in people's hearts. And I think that's what I'm striving for. Everyone has a purpose. I know the city has done an amazing job contributing with each department. The more I know about the city, the more I fall in love with San Dimas. So I just wanted to thank you for being here. Thank you.
Anyone wishing to take photos, feel free.
No photos.
Oh, yeah. Come on, a little smile.
All right. How's it going? All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I got like 100.
Hang on, there's still people out there. We'll give you enough time to change the film.
I want to say something else. Because I know for a lot of you guys that have business, I have my deeper respect. This has been like my first rodeo having my own business. For some of you guys that don't know me, I did 33 years of retail work, and I was I'm sorry? Hello, okay. So for some of you guys that don't know me, I done 33 years of back retail work, so I was a very tough boss. Believe it or not. I'm nice, but I am very firm. And one of the things that have been the most challenging, I think, is working with my family, with my son Marco, and my daughter Jasmine and Benjamin. And also my entire team, so it's not just me, it's a lot of people that really put their heart into it, and it's because we want to demonstrate that we can do good quality product and also have passion at what we do. So our team starts at 3 a.m. every morning, and I know some of them cannot be here, but I'm very grateful for everyone here that contributes to the success of the cafe, and I just want to say thank you. And I know your time is valuable, and 15, 20 minutes of your time means a lot for me, and I'll never forget this night, so thank you. Okay, I have to mention something. So December 10, there has been a dream that finally is going to come true. Thank you to Mr. Luis Torrico and their team and everything that Dimas has to support the businesses behind it. I think that's going to be great. I've been trying to open this grab and go for the past 2 years. So now I got support from the city so to fall in love with you guys and deliver what I truly want from the cafe. So December 10th, we're going to have a ribbon cutting, grab and go, sweet and savory to come. Thank you, Mayor.
3 o'clock comes very early, so anyone who wishes to go ahead and leave to get ready for work, the boss is going to be there on time. Oral communications. Members of the audience are invited to address the City Council on any item on this agenda or not on this agenda. Please, public comment will not be taken during each individual agenda item, except for the public hearing items. Comments on public hearing items will be heard when that item is scheduled for discussion. Under the provisions of the Brown Act, the legislative body is prohibited from engaging in discussion on any item not appearing on the posted agenda. However, your concerns may be referred to as staff or set for discussion at a later date. Each speaker will be limited to speaking once for up to 3 minutes.
The first speakers will be San Dimas High School students.
Good evening, Mayor Badar, City Council, City Manager, staff, and members of the audience. My name is Violet Robertson, and this is Emma Fauner, and tonight we're here from San Dimas to tell you what's going on with our Saints. First, I'll begin with our academics. We have successfully closed out our first quarter on October 10th. From October 21st to the 25th, our senior and junior class officers hosted our annual College Week, where students engaged in activities centered around post-high school planning and college readiness. Our English department used our staff development day to refine curriculum, essential standards, and common formative assessments. They will have a pullout day in December to collaborate scores for student writing. Additionally, California State Senator Susan Rubios visited at SDHS and led a civic lesson for over 50 of our seniors, which was a great world learning experience.
Moving on to athletics, our fall sports teams continue to make us proud. Girls volleyball finished as league champs and competed in CIF Division IV playoffs. Flag football earned the title of undefeated league champions and advanced to CIF Division II playoffs. Our golf team is in CIF playoffs and has now gone undefeated league champs for 2 consecutive years. Girls tennis are co-league champs and will host Irvine in the first CIF round. Football is in round 2 of CIF Division IX playoffs this Friday at 7 p.m. Winter sports are well underway. Teams have been chosen and competitions are about to begin.
Now for the arts, our theater department just concluded a fantastic run of The Odd Couple in Cloud9 Theater in the round setting, featuring students from both Lone Hill and SDHS. Looking ahead, auditions and preparations are already underway for their taking on Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. Earlier this month, our combined SDHS and Lone Hill Choir performed a sold-out BCA audience. Congratulations to our performers and our choir director, Mr. Jared Pugh. Our Royal Corps Marching Band also excelled in the recent competition at Centennial High School. earning an impressive score of 81.4, their first time breaking 80 this season. Congratulations to our musicians, student leaders, staff, and volunteers.
Lastly, activities. We had a successful Socktober drive, and our first food frenzy saw around 30 clubs participating. Our homecoming festivities included our fall rally, parade, and dance, where we crowned our homecoming king, Ryan Lee, our queen, Alina Quintanilla. We would like to express our sincere gratitude for all the support the city has given us with our homecoming parade. Thank you for everything. Lastly, we are gearing up for our annual Thanksgiving food drive, where we partner with Lone Hill Middle School to help families in our district. We are open to accepting food donations or gift cards to get food from them in our front office until November 20th. Thank you for the opportunity to let us speak tonight.
Am I correct in the game is Friday night at 7 o'clock at San Dimas?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
The next speaker is Alex Rubio with San Dimas Library.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council, and committee members. And I'm pleased to share a few of our upcoming programs. Tomorrow at 10:15 a.m., we'll host our Baby Storytime, which we host 3 times a month. It's for children ages 0 to 18 months and their parents and caregivers. This program provides a wonderful opportunity for families to bond and foster an early love of reading through rhymes, finger plays, and stories. Also, in recognition of Native American Heritage Month, we invite our teens ages 13 to 17 to join us on Tuesday, November 18th at 4 p.m. for our basket weaving workshop. Participants will learn about traditional basket weaving techniques and explore the cultural significance of this art form within Native American communities. And last, I also want to highlight one of our digital services, Livy by Overdrive. With your LA County Library card, you can borrow ebooks, audiobooks to read or listen to on your computer, your tablet, your phone, which is a great option if you have a long commute. And all our services are free. And you can always find more information for our upcoming programs and services on our website at lacountylibrary.org. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was the last speaker card, Mayor.
Anyone else wishing to speak to the council at this time? At this time, I'll ask Captain Mullen to come up and introduce our newest community member, family member.
See if I can use this thing right. Good evening, Mayor, council members. I actually thought everybody was here for me, but I guess I was wrong. Disappointing. But anyways, I would like to take this moment to introduce law enforcement technician, or LET as we call it, Sarah Nguyen. She's going to be our new community business business outreach liaison. She's going to be the newest member of our team. We're very excited to have her here. She also has a couple other different collaterals, which include working with community outreach, volunteers, and just general interactions with the city. So we're very excited to have her here. I know she's going to be a wonderful asset to our team. She's going to work great with the city. She's going to be great for the community, and I can't wait for everybody to have a chance to meet her. So I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Good evening. Sorry, I apologize. I'm not great at public speaking. I'm really excited to be here. It's a great opportunity. I appreciate the opportunity. Everybody's been nothing short of wonderful here at the city. I do plan on helping making the city shine, not that it doesn't already, but helping just engage with the community, just being involved with different community events, just seeing how special San Dimas actually is. And then I also work with the volunteers, so we're more than happy to help out with any city events, providing security, safety, and just being involved with the community, and just to show that the Sheriff's Department does care about the community that we serve, and just being there for you guys. And we want to, we want to just make sure that we have that good rapport with everybody, with the community, and just knowing that we're there for you guys, both the city, community, yeah.
And in case you didn't know, a lot of people actually had a chance to meet with Sarah at the trunk or treat event. She was the unicorn walking around. So she was actually out there interacting with a lot of people, and you might not have even noticed it. So we're very happy to have her here, and thank you for letting us have a chance to introduce her.
Mayor, can I make a comment really quick?
Sure.
I'll just say your previous captain was pretty disappointed that you were leaving, which means I think we're really lucky to have gotten you. So I heard great things, and I think you're going to do great, and look forward to seeing you continue to do good work under Captain Moen's tutelage. Thanks.
And at this time, I'd like to ask Parks and Recreation Director Scott Wasserman to provide a city update.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. I'm Scott Wasserman, Director of Parks and Recreation. We have our big event coming up, Saturday, December 6th, from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. It's our holiday extravaganza. It'll take place on Bonita Avenue. It's from 3 to 9. Festivities start at 3 o'clock. We have pre-event activities and crafts with Mrs. Claus at the Walker House. At 4 o'clock, the holiday parade begins. 5 o'clock is when the event begins, right after the parade. We got a lot of snow this year. We got about 12 tons of snow this year, so we should have a lot of fun snow play. We have bouncers, games, shopping, food. We have a beer garden and entertainment, and we have selfies with Santa. And we also have a great stage show plan. The highlight is 6 o'clock p.m., where the mayor and the council light the city's Christmas or holiday tree. And the event concludes around 9 o'clock p.m., and we hope you can join us. This is a free event. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that registration for the house decorating contest, registration closes on December 8th at 11:59 p.m. We hope that we have a lot of enthusiasm for the home decorating contest. Judging will be conducted December 9th through the 11th. So we hope folks will get in the holiday spirit with us. That concludes my update.
Thank you. Any questions of Scott? Okay, we'll move on to the consent calendar. All items on the consent calendar are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion unless a member of the city council requests a separate discussion.
Move approval. Second.
Mayor, I'd just like to pull consent calendar item number 3, approve capital improvement projects at San Dimas Canyon Golf Course for question and comment.
All right, we'll go ahead and approve items 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. Do I have a,
So moved. Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Hey.
Okay, we'll move on to item 3. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. This item pertains to golf course improvement projects. This item relates to the city council's approval to complete 10 capital improvement projects at the San Dimas Golf Course in the amount of $916,283 that are recommended by the city's Golf Course Advisory Committee. The Golf Course Advisory Committee meets quarterly, and it's made up, we have 2 council members from the city of San Dimas. It includes Mayor Bedar and Councilmember Viena, 1 council member from the city of Laverne, Councilmember Rick Crosby, and then 2 members of the public appointed by the city of San Dimas, Timothy Hughes and Don Green. I should mention the funds used to complete capital improvement projects at the golf course, 100% provided by American Golf. It's one of their contractual obligations is that they divert on a monthly basis 10% of their green fees to a green fees improvement fund. That's the fund that we use to complete all the capital improvement projects at the golf course. This fund currently has a balance of $1,576,818. And if approved, if the city council approves these 10 projects, that will leave a balance of $660,535 in the improvement account. Typically, well, let me back up. Talk a little bit about the process. The Golf Course Advisory Committee, it meets quarterly, and there's a process where in the contract, American Golf is required to submit to the city a list of capital improvement projects for consideration by the Golf Course Advisory Committee. The Golf Course Advisory Committee reviews these projects, And typically what they look for are projects that are going to maintain the facility to a high standard, anything that's safety related, and projects that really enhance the facility's ability to generate revenue. With that being said, this contract dates back to 1985. And I should mention, over the years, we're in the process of restating this contract because since 1985, a lot of things have changed. So we're working with the city attorney and with American Golf to restate this to make it a more modern contract, to build in more accountability and checks and balances. Over the years, city staff has not been really consistent in seeking the city council's approval of the recommendations of the Golf Course Advisory Committee. That's why I'm here tonight. We have projects from 2024 and 2025. We're requesting council's approval for all 10 of the projects. Part of the process for us in restating the contract has been researching all of the documents and the history that goes back to 1985, when I was about 13 years old, and learning a lot about the contract, and that this is one of the requirements, is that once a year we need to be taken to the city council the recommendations of the Golf Course Advisory Committee so that the city council can approve the expenditures and the improvement at its golf course. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Well, I guess I'll go from there. First of all, I see no issue with any of the improvements that are recommended, and I'm very, very grateful to the Golf Course Advisory Committee for making the recommendations. I'm in no place to say what the golf course needs or doesn't need, but I do enjoy seeing the improvements that will be made. This facility serves, so many people, residents and non-residents alike. And it's exciting to see, a development of a ceremony site that will be there so people can come together and celebrate. They can come together and socialize because the facility just doesn't serve golfers. It serves everybody. There's a place for everybody. The restaurant is beautiful. So I was curious, is there anything that didn't make this wish list that we can look forward to maybe in the future improving upon?
I can't think of anything offhand. There are some projects that are carried over from last fiscal year. They just weren't able to complete them. And then on top of that, the additional projects are being recommended for the current fiscal year. Okay. The Golf Advisory Committee, because it's public officials and members of the public together, they're very meticulous in how they evaluate the projects, and they regularly hear input about the city's golf course and the services provided there.
Yeah, no,
So
again,
this is a very good representation of, these are all of the big projects that have been recommended, have generally been approved.
I'm happy that money is being put back into the facility and, quality of life. People need a place to go and have fun, a place to be outside safely, and to provide those opportunities to our community at large is awesome. So just a big thank you to everybody on the Golf Course Advisory Committee and to our mayor and to Councilmember Vienna. Thank you very much. I'm in complete support of this, and I just thought it would be nice to share with the community all the thought that's being put into this.
You want to make a...
Yeah, if nobody has any other questions, I would motion to approve consent item number 3.
Second.
Any further questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries 5-0. Okay, we'll move on to other business. Award a contract to Waterline Technologies Incorporated for the replacement of the swim blocks at the Recreation Center in the amount of $71,350.45. Approved total project budget of $78,485.45, which includes a 10% contingency of $7,135 and authorizes the city manager to negotiate and execute the contract in a form approved by the city attorney. Any questions?
Would you like a
Yeah,
presentation? Okay.
You want to give us a report?
Before questions, got it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. I think the most important thing about this, we have 8 swim blocks at the competition pool at the Recreation Center. They're considered standard equipment for a competition pool, and they're used by several user groups. So this is considered a routine maintenance, although it is a costly purchase. The existing swim blocks were installed in 2006, and the reason they were removed is that they became slippery, but they also became wobbly in the concrete. So rather than we felt like it was an accident waiting to happen, we just removed them until we can replace them. We're here tonight seeking the City Council's approval to spend, as the mayor said, the total project cost is $78,485.45 for the project. And the important part of this presentation, the Bonita Unified School District, they're one of the 3 organizations that use the swim blocks regularly. They use them for swim meets that they host at the facility, and also just to practice for other swim competitions at other facilities. The school district, for that reason, has agreed to pay for half the cost of the project, which is $35,675, which means the balance, of course, the other 50% would be paid by the city, $35,675. If we have to dip into the contingency of a little over $7,000, the school district would also pay half of that as required. Funds for this project can be taken from the Recreation Center Improvement Fund that currently has a balance of $273,331. If this project is approved, the fund will retain a balance of $234,088.50. I mentioned that the swim blocks are used by 3 groups. We talked a little bit about the Bonita Unified School District, and their swim teams use them to practice for swim competitions and also to host events. It's a requirement of USA Swimming. That's the sanctioning organization for swim meets. They require that in order to host a tournament or a swim meet, a competition pool has to have swim blocks. And swim blocks are also used by a group called Dimas Aquatics. They generate approximately $80,000 per year in revenue. School district generates approximately $141,925 in revenue through their rentals. And swim blocks are also used by our instructor guards. So those are our in-house lifeguards that teach swim lessons. They also use those to teach certain skills. With that, I'll take any questions that the City Council may have.
Quick question. I do have a question. So initially, when I saw the cost of replacing 8 swim blocks, I was a little taken aback, and then I did a little research on them, and they are indeed very expensive. But with that being said, looking at the last swim blocks, we got 19 years worth of use out of them, which is pretty decent. But with this being a pretty significant cost, do we store these covered that would, potentially extend the life of them so we get a little bit more out of these new ones?
We can certainly look at that. I think the deterioration of the swim blocks that we just removed, I mentioned that the surface became slick, the standing surface, but also they became loose the way that they're anchored into the concrete. So the new blocks will be anchored into the concrete a little bit better, a little bit stronger. But yes, we can absolutely look at covers that would extend the life of the swim blocks.
Great, thanks.
For the ones that we were particularly proposing, what is the lifespan of these expected?
I would say about 20 years based on the ones that we're removing are about 20 years old. Could potentially be extended if we find a way to cover them.
Does the lifespan vary by the type of swim block that you buy? In other words, is it worth spending a little bit more if it's going to give us like an extra 10 years, or is it one of those things where they're all kind of the same?
I believe they're all pretty much the same. The difference between the next level up, we looked at sort of the Cadillac swim blocks. They're just bigger and they're larger, but we didn't go with those because they don't necessarily last longer. They're made of the same materials, and we're getting the ones that are required by USA Swimming.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Questions? My question is that I always hear that we cannot host swim tournaments because of the size of our pool. What does USA Swim have a restriction there? Because I thought we couldn't do like CIF tournament or swim meets there.
Mr. Mayor, my understanding is that it's actually water polo, so the Olympic size pool for water polo and for swimming are actually different. And for swimming, our pool meets the criteria for them to host swim meets, but it's really water polo where it's a little bit different. It's not a full Olympic size, and it's also one side I believe is a little bit too shallow. Correct? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That answers a big question there. Any further questions? We'll entertain a motion.
Move approval.
Second.
Any further questions?
I just want to acknowledge the school district for assisting and covering half that cost. It's deeply appreciated.
Very good, thank you. I was very glad to see that the school district, on their own, came back and said, hey, we'll participate on it. So I think that's a step in the right motion. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries 5-0. We're going to get some new swim blocks. I want to see Ryan use them.
Sorry, sir, I'm running to keep up with Weber.
All right. We'll move on to oral communications. Members of the audience, speakers are limited to 3 minutes, all right, or as may be determined by the chair. Anyone wishing to speak to the council at this time? Seeing none, we'll move on to city manager report.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and City Council. A couple updates. As most of you know, significant rain is forecasted beginning Friday for a handful of days. Public Works crews prepare for these events year-round and are clearing channels, removing vegetation to maintain the stormwater capacity. And ahead of this storm, today, tomorrow, crews are out inspecting all the channels, removing debris, and they will be patrolling the city throughout the weekend. A reminder, residents can pick up sandbags at the city yard, 301 South Walnut Avenue. Please bring your own shovel and be prepared to fill your own bags, but that is a option for residents if they're in need of sandbags. Fifth Street project, the contractors are scheduled to begin paving next week, starting on Fifth Street, Bellevue, Smead, and Payson. During the weekend, November 24th, crews are expected to grind and pave Iglesia from Bonita to 5th and Gladstone from Amelia to San Dimas Avenue. The schedules may shift depending on the weather and rain. Other projects, Golden State Water is beginning a major water line replacement on San Dimas Canyon Road between Sycamore Canyon Road and Fern Ridge Drive, with work anticipated through the early December. Traffic control will be in place and residents should expect minor delays, but they're being proactive and working on any of those delays. A separate water main replacement is also underway on Terrebonne Avenue north of White Bluff Drive, where there also is going to be traffic impacts for that construction project. Holiday decorations, on a positive note, holiday decorations are being installed along Bonita Avenue, including the new streetlights recently added between San Dimas Avenue and Walnut Avenue. The contractor will be removing the old streetlights next week along Bonita. And lastly, construction, the conversion of one tennis court at Sportsplex into 4 dedicated pickleball courts is anticipated to begin on Thursday, December 4th, and the project is scheduled to be completed on Monday, January 5th. And again, those time frames might shift due to weather. But we're excited to get those up and open for the public. And with that, that concludes my comments.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none. City Attorney?
I have no reports tonight, Mayor.
Thank you. Members of the City Council, council members' reports on meetings attended at the expense of the local agency. Seeing none, we'll move on to City Council requests for future items, comments, and updates. Mr. Nakano.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just had one thing that I wanted to bring to my colleagues that for consideration. I think many of you, throughout the course of the discussions around the Gold Line, which later became the A Line, we had one very engaged citizen who was relentless in keeping us informed and who did a lot of research and continues to send us news articles and everything else. The civic engagement of Pete, I don't see him here, has been remarkable. And I just wondered if there was any appetite in terms of acknowledging his civic engagement, given that I found a lot of his stuff helpful and his analysis to be very thorough. And I wish there were more people like Pete in our community who were as civically engaged as he is. we oftentimes do recognize different people for various achievements related to businesses and stuff. I've never seen us recognize a citizen for just trying to be a research arm for the city council. So I opened it up for discussion. I'd be curious to see if there was an appetite for something like that, but I think it'd be a really nice thing to do, especially since I can't think of any other way he would be recognized for his work, and I'd love to see him recognized.
Comments?
I absolutely agree that Pete has been absolutely committed to that cause, and not just with the A-line, but quiet zones and the people that were impacted by MetroLink. So I 100%, there's a potential for a policy discussion, which I don't know that we should or shouldn't have at this point, but as it relates to Pete Lewis, I absolutely would support a recognition for him for his commitment to mass transportation advisement to the council.
Any further comments?
I like the idea as well.
Yep, I agree.
Those are all the things I have to say. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I guess turning to city manager and legal team, what would the next steps be in a situation like this?
Yeah, the next steps is we'll be bringing it back to the next meeting, be a recognition of Pete Lewis' community involvement and engagement in pretty much all railway activity and operation and projects. So we'll be bringing some back on the next agenda. If he's available, we'll check his schedule, but yeah.
I'd like to make sure we do the recognition maybe on the tracks.
Thank you.
Just kidding. Maybe the platform.
We can go there, in between train stops.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Any further, Eric?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Ms. Bertakos?
Hi, everyone. A couple things. The Bowser Bash was wonderful. A great event. Saw lots of friendly faces, and a lot of friendly faces I didn't know, a lot of dogs I didn't know. I teased about when is cat day going to happen. I'm a cat lady. But it was really fun, and the vendors were having a great time, and many of the vendors lived here in San Dimas, and that was really cool too, to see them out and about. It was a beautiful day. The heroes threw a wonderful Veterans Day event yesterday. Thank you so much to our veterans here in San Dimas. Obviously, words just can't express the gratitude that we all have for you. And it's funny, I actually had something Metro related as well to discuss. I just wanted to mention that Metro put together a thing called like a station activation team. It's something brand new, and essentially they're tasked with making sure that the station, the platform is really connected and engaged in the city that the station's in. And they want to hear, our voices. They want us to be engaged. And I'm staying in contact with them because, when the train was coming, there were people that weren't all that excited about it. And there are still people that still aren't that excited about it, but it's here. And I think ownership is a big piece of what is going to make it successful or not. And so I think we want to make our station, our San Dimas station, so that requires us being actively involved in creating it. So I'm staying in contact with this team. They're just curious, how can they help us with our events? They want to maybe throw their own events, even if it's just decorating the station for Christmas, little things that can just really keep it connected with our community. So there is a partnership there because, I put a note here. Nobody's going to dump a train on us and walk away. We've got a partnership, and we're going to continue working with them and making sure that our station represents us. And it leads me to another thing. If you see something, say something. The station's going to bring some good things, and it's going to bring some not good things. So please, call the non-emergency line, say something. Being on top of things and just making sure that people understand what is okay here in San Dimas and what isn't is really, really important. There's nothing too big or too small. So see something, say something. And if you have ideas on things that you'd like to see at our station, please let me know. My contact info is it's everywhere, but it's on the city website, so let me know. Thanks, you guys.
Mr. Weber.
Well, I also wanted to wish, well, not wish, but hope that everyone had a wonderful Veterans Day. And happy Veterans Day to you, Mr. Mayor, and all of the San Dimas veterans in the city. I was on an annual Veterans Day weekend camping trip, so I wasn't able to make it to the Heroes event, but as usual, that looks like it was very well attended, and I got some text messages from some people that I hadn't seen in a very long time that were at the event, and I was kind of sad that I missed out on it. But I just wanted to say that that being a veteran myself from the Global War on Terror era, Veterans Day has a special meaning to me, and it means a great deal. I'm very grateful for all of the service members who sacrificed. And that doesn't just include those who were killed in action, but those who sacrificed in many other ways. There's plenty of people that are disabled for the rest of their life, have lost limbs, and suffer from PTSD and the like. And especially those who served in combat zones are affected greatly. I managed to make it out of my service in one piece, and I'm very, very grateful and thankful that I was, but many did not. So I just wanted to, mention that we in San Dimas are very fortunate to have an organization like San Dimas Heroes to not only recognize our veterans, but put on that event every year. And then also I wanted to touch on the consent calendar. We approved appropriations for additional bus stop improvements, but if you haven't noticed driving around town, that some of the new bus shelters are being installed, and they not only look fantastic, I've seen commuters around town using those bus shelters, and I wanted to point out, because it was quite the spirited discussion when we chose those bus shelters in particular, but I wanted to point out that on my way in tonight, there was commuters at the bus shelter at San Dimas Ave in Bonita. It's dark out, and they had lighting, and I was just so grateful that that those are finally being installed. It's coming to fruition. It is a huge improvement over the wooden structures that we had, and seeing commuters being able to use those shelters at night with lighting to make them safer, to make them more usable. And then in addition, I wanted to point out that I also saw some commuters using those bus shelters during the early morning hours where the sun was rising, and the sun was in a position that would otherwise be shining right in your face if you were sitting facing the street, and both of the people sitting on the bench were turned around facing the other direction, which you can do on these new benches, and therefore they didn't have the sun just blasting them in the face as they were waiting for their bus. So I just wanted to point out that those are going in. I'm very happy to see that we are working to appropriate more money to replace more of those old rickety wooden bus shelters. But other than that, Mr. Mayor, that's all I have.
Mr. Vienna.
Thank you, Mayor. For the record, I'd like the time to reflect at 7:43 p.m. For those that have been paying attention. So as I start my comments, I want to start off by saying, number one, yes, heroes, happy Veterans Day, Mayor, Eric, and the other veterans. I think Patrick Jones, I know he was here earlier. Oh, here he is. Did an outstanding job yesterday in his comments. And I think that, I appreciate what Mr. Jones said, because it's important to make a distinction between Veterans Day and Memorial Day, and I really appreciate the communication of that message. I applaud the city staff and heroes for always doing an outstanding job, making sure that event goes the way we would hope it goes, to honor the people that we're honoring on that day. I wanted to go back to Halloween. I appreciate the turnout in the community for Halloween. I think that was very well done. I know the Sheriff's Department volunteers worked to provide some service up as they've done in the past on San Dimas Avenue. And I appreciate the deployment of the volunteers and everybody that was up there doing their best to keep the little ones and community members safe. And I appreciate the community in doing their diligence to make sure it was a safe holiday or day, if you will, for everyone. It seems to be quite the holiday for some people in the community here. I also appreciate the fact that people actually got out. And I actually think I had more trick-or-treaters this year. I think we're up to 15 or 20. And, you know, I know there's a big pull off of San Dimas Avenue, but I really do hope that for the residents that are here in town that we can continue to see the time-honored tradition of Halloween in all of our communities so everybody feels safe to get out there, light up their homes, and have a good time with the young people. With that being said, last week, I'm sorry I missed the Bowser Bash. I wished I could have been there up at the park. I roped Captain Moen into joining me to support the law enforcement torch run benefiting the Special Olympics, where he and I went and shot with two community members from the area for which I work and competed in what was called the Shoot for Inclusion to raise awareness for people with intellectual disabilities. I am happy to report Captain Moen and I and the two other strapping gentlemen that we shot with took first place in that sporting clay tournament, and we're very lucky to do that, and I had the honor to carry the Flame of Hope with Brittany Moran, who is a Special Olympic athlete and the daughter of a retired deputy, and so that was a really great honor to be able to do that. I encourage everybody to learn more about the law enforcement torch run and Special Olympics. If you haven't had an opportunity to do that, I've been involved with it for some time, and it's just a really great cause. And Captain Moen, keep up the good shooting, sir. That being said, with TSB, our Transit Services Bureau, I want to thank Captain Brian Jones, who has been here and spoke to us a little bit in the past. They did an operation in coordination with our San Dimas Sheriff Station to do some abatement around the Red Roof Inn. And I think I appreciated hearing from Captain Jones recently about his continued support and priority of San Dimas and our community to make sure that they're doing abatement around the A-line and all the things associated with that. And I appreciate that continued support to keep San Dimas safe. Rain preparedness is very important with the storm ahead. So as the city manager alluded to, if you need sandbags, especially those of you who live north of Foothill or in any of these areas that don't drain very well, I know Horse Thief Canyon Park is usually a fun place where there tends to be some water that'll puddle up. But I always want to acknowledge staff that not only before in preparation, but after, I see the staff up there making sure that they clean up some of that runoff. And one day I think we'll get a catch debris basin up there. But until that day, thank you for all your hard work. And I hope everybody takes steps to adjust and plan accordingly. I have been walking the dogs up in Horse Thief quite a bit. I did use the My San Dimas app. I don't know who's checking that, if it's still Michael or whoever, but there's been more graffiti, it seems, coming off of Maverick, and I tagged a couple of those today. I highly doubt that the people doing the graffiti watch city council meetings, so I'm not really worried about someone knowing that I reported those things. But I will say, though, that, to the residents out there, if you live up there off of Maverick near that trailhead, whether it goes to the north or the south, please download the My San Dimas app and please report those things. I think the city does an outstanding job of responding quickly to get it. And frankly, I don't even know if the residents know the back of their walls were tagged that actually are those that are on the north south street just south of the trailhead there. But I already reported those for those homes this morning. Last thing is two things. I want to give credit to the city manager, who not only is a good city manager, but he continues to be engaged as a leader in the region and a model city manager for people in the area. Brad was asked to speak at the Sheriff's Department Command College I had nothing to do with it, but I was pleasantly surprised to see a friendly face sitting there when myself and Captain Moen and Captain Jones and the rest of us newly promoted individuals at the day job were sitting there. And Brad had the opportunity to speak on a panel with the city manager of Lakewood. And your demeanor, your wisdom, and I think the things that you imparted to the newly promoted captains for my day job organization, I think will serve not only the individuals well, but I think it will serve the communities well in understanding how to work with contract cities and then how to prioritize their duties and responsibilities to make sure that they are fulfilling their jobs as chiefs of police. So thank you, Brad, for doing that. I know Star Center might have been a little out of your way in that morning, but appreciate you making that trip, both in this capacity and the other. And lastly, but probably most importantly, I wanted to wish the First Lady of San Dimas a happy birthday, as that is coming up here this weekend. And Pam, I hope you have a wonderful birthday. Emmett, I hope you do the right thing. I don't know what it is, but make sure you take her out and have a good time. And that's all I got. Thank you.
Let me make sure that you understand. I am taking her out to dinner to the Historical Society annual fall dinner here in San Dimas, so she'll be enjoying a lot of friends. And happy birthday to my wife. A lot of things are going on, a lot of things in San Dimas. We're getting ready for the holidays. I happen to be informed by my wife today that our staff was out putting up Christmas decorations and lights, and I thought this was pretty neat. Our community looks forward to these things, and then I think it's a good thing, and we want to continue going the way we're going. Yesterday was the Veterans Day, and the Heroes Program, Heroes Group, did another outstanding job of bringing our community together, recognizing, people who have served in our service. One of the things, a little bit of a sad note, was that we heard yesterday that Penny Stevenson, who is the current president, has decided to retire. But I know that Penny will be around that committee the whole time. I'm not sure who's going to be the new chair, but it's had very few chairs in its existence. One was Gary Enderly for 150 years, and then Penny's been there for quite a few years, keeping it up what we expect. And it was very nice hearing from State Senator Rubio, who said that she had attended like 15 different locations, and that our monument was one of the best that she had seen, and the participation. She was very careful not to say too much because she had just come from Laverne's. So she figured that she needed to be careful and make sure that everybody knew that San Dimas and Laverne were partners in everything we do. And so, but that was very, very good. Ryan, I want to say something. Sometimes I kid you about the length of your reports, but they're always informative, and I want to thank you personally for that. But then on the other hand, I want to thank Mr. Nakano for recognizing Pete Lewis. I think that's a great thing, and I had not thought about it, but I certainly wished I had it, because as we all know, Pete's kept us informed for many years, and that involves not just research, but he goes downtown to the metro, meetings. He really is. Transportation and trains and stuff were really a part of his everyday life, and I really thank you guys for thinking of that, and I think it's going to be something that Pete really appreciates. So I I've said this before a few times, but it's always good to go last because I can't think of anything else at this point, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Anybody want to keep the meeting on? Okay, see you guys in 2 weeks.